far be it for me to cast aspersions on a person's character and what they're thinking at a time, but have a think about this. Say you're taking part in an event and you happen to fracture vertebrae in that event. So while you're recovering from that, you then happen to cop a heart attack, and just to top it all off, you happen to have a five bypass as well. Just 5 bypasses. Just an amazing story. But my next guest is a man who did injure himself a couple of years ago at a rally, which is now taking part in and preparing to head over to Dakar. Bruce Garland joins us. How are you, Bruce?
I'm going good, Glenn. What about yourself?
Look, I'm going very well. Now, surely no one before me has ever doubted your intelligence, have they?
I think it's a daily occurrence.
Now, tell us about it. Dakar, I know it's in your blood. You've taken part in the Australian Safari and you've been an off-road racer here in Australia for many years. But Dakar, it's something special to you, isn't it? It's that light which keeps beckoning you.
Yeah, it's like Mount Everest, I suppose, of the motor racing, well, especially a style that we do. And you know, as I said before, it's the biggest, most difficult, most dangerous motorsport event in the world. And the last 2 times I've gone in, I've had the problem with my back. I broke my back in Chile, and then the time before that, we had a bit of bad luck. So we've got a bit of unfinished business. You know, we want to try and take an Aussie team and get into the top 10. And, you know, and when I was, the last drum we had, you mentioned getting the 5 bypasses. You know, I was laying in the hospital in the Morne Hechter Hospital in Melbourne at the time, and I go, if I ever get out of here, I want to go back and just give it one more shot.
Now, what will this will be your, I'm just trying to add it up, your 4th attempt, is it?
This will be the 5th.
5th attempt, is it? Okay.
Yes.
So what makes the Dakar so special? What makes you want to go back and give it a go?
There's many different things, but it's just more than motorsport. It's like a human endeavour that it just pushes you way outside your comfort zone. And then when you think that you can't get any worse than that, there's still more to come. And to get to the finish is such an achievement. It's just a sense of freedom. I mean, there's no speed cameras out there, and there's hardly any people. And you're going into some of the remotest parts of the world, and it is you've got that other feeling of that freedom of driving across the countryside.
Yeah, I love it, and I'm a big fan of it. But let's say I'm not, and I come up to you and say, Bruce, what is this Dakar Rally? Where do you start? What do you do? How long does it go for?
Well, it's a 2-week race. It's now in South America. It used to be in Northern Africa. And there's 200 and odd bikes, 150 cars, and about 100 trucks. So we camp in the desert every night, or a village or a town, and then we get up 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, and we've got to be on the road. And if you have a good day, you might be in the middle of the afternoon. Otherwise, you could be in the next morning.
It's a speed event.
It's a timed speed event. So it's a rally. We don't know where the course is going. The navigator, no one does. We've all got the same GPS unit with the course logged in it, and we have to decipher what that's telling us to work out which way we're going.
Yeah. Now, what cars are in it, for example? What are you racing this year, Bruce?
We're using the Isuzu D-Max with a turbo diesel, and we're in a modified diesel class. So it's we're trying to. If we can get into the top 10, we get to the finish as the first achievement. The second achievement would try to be and get into the top 10. So if we do that, that'll be tick all the boxes.
What other cars are there? I noticed Robbie Gordon, for example, who's a real character and a big supporter of Dakar and a well-known American racer. He's back in a Hummer. What other ones are going to be featured there? Do you know?
There's the Minis. I've got a team from BMW-based car, and then they're called whatever the 4-wheel drive equivalent of the Mini is, and they've got 4 or 5 of those in the race. There's quite a few buggies. There's Nassau Latier and Carlos Sainz in another American-built buggy, but that's 2-wheel drive, so they're in a different class. So there's different classes in the race. There's standard classes, 4-wheel drive, and then there's also 2-wheel drive buggies. So there's some weird and wonderful machines there.
Yeah, and to top it off, there's trucks and motorbikes as well, just to make up the quadra.
And quads.
Oh, now they're mad.
They're double mad. The bike riders are fairly mad, but the quads, they're another level.
Dear. What sort of temperatures are you going to be racing in there, Bruce?
If we're going over, last year it snowed, we're going across the Andes, so it was -8. And then the next day they were in 49-degree temperature. So there's a whole lot of different things thrown up at the competitors.
Yeah.
And Mother Nature doesn't want you to be going there sometimes, so it's trying to hurt you.
Now, this event used to be called the Paris de Dakar, and that changed for a whole range of reasons. Can you recall what they were?
In 2008, they had a Al-Qaeda attack in Mauritania, and they killed some tourists about 3 or 4 days before Christmas, and the event was coming, and then they threatened to shoot the competitors with rocket launchers if they came. So they couldn't make it secure for the competitors and officials, so they had to cancel that year. Then they were already looking at going to South America. So now it's called the Dakar's. Basically, is the spirit of this type of racing. So a Dakar race can be, in different countries. They've got one in Russia, and our Australian Safari is very much a Dakar event event as well.
Great event. Now, how many are going in your crew? Harry Suzuki, your old mate's going to be your navigator again. How many are you taking over there for it?
We're taking 4 mechanics in a Isuzu dual cab, and then we've got 1 mechanic going in a race truck that's actually looking after us. And then we've got my old car that we did really well in 2009 in. A chappie by the name of Adrian Delilo from Perth is driving in that, and he's navigated by Stevie Riley, who's down the Gippsland area in Victoria. Very good safari competitor, and he's got a crew of 4 mechanics as well. And some of them come from Thailand and some from Japan. So we've got a good mixture.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. Hey, good luck with it. You talk about Stevie Riley. Boy, he's been doing the safari for so many years, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's a legend. I mean, he was my backup driver. We couldn't go against Stevie was going to be the driver because he's got so much skill and knowledge, and he's a really good bloke. So
yeah, ripper bloke.
Good. We're gonna fly the Aussie flag over there. That's for sure.
And I'm sure you'll do it well. So, how's the back?
Back's good.
How's the heart?
Heart's good. Everything's good.
All right. And the car?
Car's fantastic. Everything's great.
I thought I'd better ask the other 2 first. It might have been a bit rude if I went for the car first. Hey, good luck with it all, Bruce, to you and the team. It's fantastic to see you back there giving it again. I hope you finish primarily, but I also hope you have a fantastic result as well.
Thanks, Glenn. And I'd like to take the opportunity to thank the Monash Heart Hospital because they've given me a couple of years more life that I wasn't going to get. I should have been dead, and so every day's a bonus.
Yeah, look, they're wonderful people there. But good on you, Bruce. Good talking to you, and good luck if I don't talk to you before too.
Thanks, mate.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bruce Garland there, competing in the Dakar Rally. If you want to catch it, it's great television. SBS generally run a coverage of a morning and also an evening throughout it. From the 5th through to the 20th of January, it's going to be a big race. So make sure you keep an eye out for, as I say, Bruce Garland, Harry Suzuki as navigator from Australia.